you need to stay true to the franchise, to the fan base, and making sure that you're not coming out of left field, or the fans buy into to what you're doing, and feel like, oh yeah, this represents my team. Sports fans own their team. That's
Yeah,
their
we just
building.
work for them.
They feel a sense of ownership. We work for the team that you come out of left field, that will really make your fan base and just make the brand feel a little bit off.
Welcome back, Benchwarmers, and we're here for another interview episode. And today we're joined by Rich Cooley, the Director of Production and Entertainment at OC Vibe. Rich, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. All right, so before we dive into the questions, I want to give everybody a little quick thing of what OC Vibe is, so that way you have an idea of what we're talking about. OC Vibe is a $4 billion project that's 100 acres mixed entertainment that the Samueli family, the owners of the Anaheim Ducks, have decided to invest around the Honda Center, and it's a really big project. So we're going to talk to Rich a little bit about that. But before we do, Rich, how did you go from teaching, because you were an instructor at Walden Multimedia Institute, you were teaching like graphic design and Adobe and Premiere and all that kind of stuff. How did you go directly from teaching to then straight up the director of production for the Anaheim Ducks?
Teaching part was actually a kind of a transition. I didn't seek out to be a teacher per se. I wanted to learn about computers. I'm a musician, I've been all my life, and the analog tape world was starting to transition into digital, and I did not understand computers. I didn't understand Pro Tools. I didn't understand how any of the technology worked. And I just kind of fell backwards in an opportunity to become a lab assistant at Walden, and then just to learn computers and translate that into a music program. And I ended up becoming one of the instructors in a few short years teaching computer graphics, which I never set out to do. I just got immersed into it, and it just turned out I had a knack for being able to teach the programs, even though I can't even draw a stick figure. But I understand that programs work, the editing kind of came naturally to me, and so video editing. And I met Ken French through his boss and my boss, the owner of the school, were all part of the Anaheim Brother. They started talking, and they wanted to do some work together. They thought, well, they can. Kent worked for Philadelphia Cape at the time, and he had a sports show, a local sports show. So we thought, well, why don't our two bosses decided, why don't we have our companies work together, and let's have our people talk. And so I got into a room with this guy Ken French, and that's the first time I met him, and we started talking about our computer graphics team, and we had what we called the broadcast center, so we were doing outside work. So we thought, well, how can we work with Philadelphia, build up our reel and our resume, and that's where it all started. And so nothing really came from the relationship with the companies, but Kent and I stayed in touch, and there were a lot of projects together. One day, a few years later, I get a phone call from him, and he says, "Hey, how do you want to work for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim?" This is 2003.
Wait, now was this?
And
were you hired right after they won or went into the Cup Finals?
So I was hired the summer after they went to that Cinderella run. So I remember watching it on TV, and I get this fun. I was like, that's great. Our local team had a great year. And Kim French says, "Hey, you want to work for the team?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I just hired as the production manager for the Mighty Ducks." I didn't even know he was going after the job. And so they decided they were going to bring video in-house, video production in-house, because it was getting cheaper at the time. And so they asked, "Well, who do you want to bring on to help build this department?" And he asked me, and I thought it was just going to be something temporary, and I wasn't thinking this was. I knew music, I knew video, I knew graphics to stay afloat, and I didn't realize I was going to actually have a true knack for this area of the industry, and I worked in the entertainment industry for variety of jobs over the years, and it all just kind of fell together here. I just really got lucky.
Yeah,
So
that's so crazy because
yeah.
like I obviously I didn't know the connection of you and Kent having Kent on previously. I'm kind of mad he didn't tell me that story as well. But like you go from not wanting necessarily to work in sports because you're like you said you're in the music and the other stuff, but then to going into 20 plus years with an organization and a cup run in '07 you were a part of. So like how like I don't know how what's the what were your thoughts and feelings given there in the first couple of years and then you're back into a Stanley Cup final as a fan and as an employee.
Yeah, so it was funny. The first year I worked here, we would go to everybody would go to lunch, and we were smaller back then, so a lot of people used to go lunch together all the time. And they would always talk about the cup run, how magical it was. Oh, we always ate here on Mondays, go to this and superstitions, and I'm just sitting there. And that sounds like it would have been a lot of fun. I wish I would have been. And then a few years later, of course, okay, you can keep those stories. These stories are obviously going to be better. And I definitely once I got in here, I realized how much creativity I was able to provide, how much I was just able to envision what I would want to see as a fan inside the arena, whether it was a graphic, it was a video. I was given the creative freedom to do that, and that's kind of unheard of. Usually, people like me they work for a marketing department, have to submit strict brand rules, what have you. And we obviously didn't go off the regular brand, but we were able to do some creative things that nobody had ever really tried before. So having that creative freedom and being able to use pretty much all the skills that I have learned my entire life leading up to working here, it all fit all together, and it is very natural. It's really something. I feel very lucky, and I don't
So
want a
then,
lot of
like,
these.
obviously, there's a lot of things you're, pulling and talking to people and making sure everyone's in. Like, what is the most complex part about producing like a large scale entertainment? Because I mean, a Ducks game, there's 15,000 plus people in the building. As fans, you've got I don't know how many employees under you. Obviously, smaller back then compared to now. But what's the most complex part of producing that?
It's a good question. I mean, the most complex is there's a few areas. One, you need to stay true to the franchise, to the fan base, and making sure that you're not coming out of left field, and the fans buy into to what you're doing, and feel like, oh yeah, this represents my team. Sports fans own their team, or season ticket holders.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
their
we just
building.
work for you.
They get a sense of ownership. We work for the season ticket holders. We work for the Orange Alliance, and so that we have to stay true to that, because if you come out of left field, that will alienate your fan base and just make the whole brand feel a little bit off. So making sure that you have a team of creative people who are on the same page and have that same vision, because creative people are the best. The ideas and brainstorming all over the place. So it's important to make sure everybody stays on track. The team that's there now, a
Yeah.
lot of them have been there for a really long time, and so they've really got they got a handle on it. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of
So then
consistency. So
So then, as
that's one.
far as like you talked about the fans, so like as having been doing this a long time, what do you feel like? How have the fans' expectations evolved over time? Because obviously, like you said, you don't want to do something that's out of left field and they don't feel like is authentic to the fan base or the organization. But how do you think the fans' expectations, not necessarily Ducks in general, but overall, have evolved?
Well, the expectations, a big part of our world, and your previous question about challenges is the technology. How do you leverage the technology for to get the highest quality product and pushing technology to its limits. Obviously, there's a lot going on inside Ron Center today with on ice projection and the flying ducks and new lighting system and lasers and all of that. So making sure all of those pieces with the creative team that all of that lines up. That is also one of the other challenges, but that also is it's directly with the fan expectations. When I was a kid, I remember going to baseball games over here at Ingle Stadium, and I would see,
Yeah.
there was no entertainment. That just didn't exist. The interactive entertainment. I clearly remember this, but I thought it was really cool at the time. Was this dot matrix race of these, on the scoreboard out in the field, and it was really rudimentary. It was very simple, very basic, but it was interactive. You were rooting for whatever it was to win the race and whatever. And that to where we are today, fan expectations. Some of the older fans don't like a lot of the new technology. I just want to watch the game. I just want to watch a game, and I can sympathize with that because I sometimes feel the same way. It's like just when the puck's not in play, or just don't just let me relax. But at the same time, that could also it's the experience has changed so much that if you don't have something, then the fans go, well, this is kind of boring. And so, maybe us old guys wanted to be a little more simple, but the fans and the new generations that are coming up, they're not buying a sports ticket. In Orange County and even LA, we're an entertainment town. We're not a sports town. Sports is the draw, but it's also socialized. It's also community, and it's about an experience. In general, there just happens to be the hockey game playing. I mean, that's not every fan. I'm going to say that's all fans do. We have dedicated fans who they come. That's the team and it's the sport. But there are a lot of fans that I've heard people talk about this. We just love the experience, the music, the intermissions, the games. And for some people, that's the experience. And so the community that games provide today, especially, and the technology played right into that. The social media, people's cameras turn into people's phones turn into cameras.
Yeah.
Live on the scoreboard, right? That kind of interaction, that's where the expectations just keep going up and up. And so the technology is really going to play a key part in where
and you kind of stole one of my questions because I was going to ask you about like the OC vibe is about sports, entertainment, community, or all of it. Obviously, it's about the community because we talk about this all the time, as you mentioned. Like, we're not just a sporting event. You're coming to watch a game or a concert. It's about the other stuff. The experience of it all is what we talk about and want to make sure that the fans get the best. So obviously, the community is all about it. You're gonna. I mean, what all are you gonna do with OC vibe? There's 100 acres. Like, what? I mean, obviously, not all of it is for fans. There's a lot of parking and hotels, but like, are there going to be electric screens every single 5 feet with an ad? Like, what's like? What does that mean?
Yeah, no, there's not going to be. There's going to be a decent amount of technology. There's going to be a very large media wall that will be facing east, so that'll be on the side of the parking structure that's there now. There'll be some other video screens, and there's audio, really nice audio system going in, which is going to allow us to create unique experiences with spatial audio and all of that. And so the primary goal is even though the Ducks are like main tenant, if you will, right? They're the big draw. OC Vibe is built around Honda, but OC Vibe is definitely creating a community where one of the things, just from the Ducks point of view, we've always been jealous everywhere, we went, people would come and tailgate, and hang out around the arena or stadium for 3 hours prior to the game. So it was this organic, natural tailgating go on. Come back to Orange County and Palm Center, so really, everybody just they're just coming in the arena and then they take off, they go down the street forever. Or this OC buy is going to finally create something like wanted, which is for Ducks fans specifically, is they're going to be able to arrive early, grab some dinner, hang out. Uh, the atmosphere and the anticipation and build up with technology putting around OC Vive, well, now we can now have that experience that we're used to inside Honda Center now begin when you park the car. Get off the train at Arctic, walk across the street. Especially if people think playoffs. Obviously, we're getting excited that playoffs and it's a reality here in our near future. Creating that party, that pregame tailgate experience where the Ducks fans are gathering. There's a place for them to gather instead of waiting until it gets at the arena. They weren't doing it in the parking lot before, right? So now there's an urban park in South Plaza. There's going to be gathering places and all kinds of food varieties. So it really provides the Ducks fans to before and after the game just get together and celebrate with him.
You're also giving JoJo more things to do before the building opens to the fans. He's going to be out at the Telecommons pumping everybody up. We're going to be selling merch and kiosks outside. You're just making all our jobs more to do. Right. Thanks, Rich.
Exactly. Yeah. JoJo definitely is not going to shy away from those opportunities, or he's going to have to, fund himself. But yeah, you're right. It really, for Ducks fans, this is just going to be,
all right. So now that we're obviously a couple years into the process, we got to get a lot done before 28 for the Olympics. And then there's some projects in the back that are going to be beyond that. But as far as like entertainment in Honda and everything, like you talked about, we're going to have a bunch of option ideas. But even is there something that maybe you're aware of, or it's kind of in the industry that's kind of that people are sleeping on, trends or something that we're not aware of that's kind of down the line that could be coming to OC Vibe in the future?
I don't know if there's anything anyone's sleeping on. One thing we know for sure is that augmented reality and virtual reality, AI, that's going to be part of the future. The awesome experience for them are far away from an arena, but you're immersed into the game and the cameras are taking you right up to the game itself. That technology is going to come inside venues, and what that looks like and how that changes the fan experience. There's quite a few ways it can go, and not even the fan experience while you're here at home. You can literally stand. I saw a prototype one time, and the game was actually going on, and I put on this headset, and I'm standing behind the goal net on the ice, and with the headset on, and I was back in the loading dock, and all of a sudden, the ice, and so great technology. How do you apply it? What's the actual practical application? Is this for people who come to the arena? Is there a section where you can experience the game and walk through with these headsets on, and it's for 10 minutes and then go back to your seat, watch it live, or something? You want to keep it on the whole time? Can you do that at home? Will OC Vive have a section or facility outside the arena for this kind of technology?
Dang,
connection. It is hard to tell, but it's coming, and that enhancement of the experience is going to be it's going to be wild. Like you said, people turn their phones into
Yeah.
live cameras already today. They can take selfies and post it. That's all going to be, cute in a few years. We're taking it up a notch. So that's going to be some exciting stuff, but it is crazy to
Yeah,
watch.
and not only that, it's just so much in such a concentrated area. Because like obviously looking at all the renderings and stuff, it's amazing to what's coming down the pipe. But just the thought of by the time we even get a building open, you might change something that you thought you were going to do, and the technology's moved up, and you're moving on to something else, and it's even better. So I'm just excited to see, even though what we think we're going to see in a couple of years, what we actually will when you guys are all said and done, I guess.
Yeah, our South Plaza is going to lend itself to some exciting opportunities. The parking lot south of the Honda Center, what used to be Model One, that's going to be a plaza, and it's going to be just a ton of different opportunities. And over the years, we're going to be
Yeah,
upgrading to different types of technology. Certainly, uh, not going to just stick with one thing. And so the spaces lend itself to doing some really cool stuff. And so we're pretty excited about
yeah,
getting out of the gate. First of all, but getting what's it going to look like in five,
yeah.
10 years,
Yeah, it's kind of weird
50.
with all the technology stuff. You have to plan for now, but also like, okay, in 4 years when it's obsolete and we got to change it out, what are we going to be able to do? So it's kind of crazy. You have to plan for now and down the line at the same time.
Yeah, and the interactivity or the immersive experience and how your phone is going to connect to technology, different signage for audio within the urban park area in South Plaza, that's just going to get better and better as well. So even though you're outside and you might be on your phone, that's one of the things we always find with self when the smartphones really we, everybody had one. I sat up rafters of time, whistle blew, commissioner, timeout, it's called, and I looked down and I saw just a few thousand people in unison pick up their phones and all their lights came on. And so they weren't paying attention to the video board. They weren't paying attention to what was going on. They went right. And I thought, okay,
Yeah.
that's our competition, right? We're trying to get people attention to what's going on the screen. And so that's obviously every competition in every arena, every sporting event. Sometimes movies, some people can't put the phone away during a movie, but we need to embrace that. And so I think sports are doing that in arenas and outside in districts that
Yeah, I mean,
opportunity.
the phones are only going to get more and more advanced, so we got to embrace it and use it to our advantage, as you said. So smart thinking. All right,
Yeah,
Rich. Well, again, I want to say thank you for taking your time out to do this. I know you got a lot of things on your project board over there as well for OC Vibes, so appreciate you taking the time out to do this today.
no, a pleasure. Hope that was a little insightful for you. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
And again, if you haven't looked into OC Vibe, people, please look into it. It's an amazing project that's coming down the line. And if you're a Ducks fan, should be even more excited. Again, as Rich said, a place to hang out pregame and postgame after the wins. So awesome. So again, Rich, thanks again. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Until next time, Benchwarmers, stay ready. This was a Sycamore Fourth Studios production.